Well, IPAC has provided services to the citizens across the Chinese community in answering the questions about how to register, how to vote, where is the voting post in the community. We will continue to do that. IPAC has hundreds of young volunteers to phone banking for the candidates. IPAC has also held campaign fundraisers for a lot of successful candidates as well. As we all know, under the Voters' Bill of Rights, you have the right to get help casting your ballot from anyone you like, but you cannot get advice or help from union employees or union representatives. But IPAC can help you as to your questions relating to voting. Well, that being said, let me introduce Mr. Li Sun. He is also a member of IPAC, and he is running for the Irvine City Council member 2018. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you for being here. My name is Li Sun. I'll be running for Irvine City Council in November. I have been Irvine resident for 16 years. I graduated from USC with a PhD degree in chemical engineering. I also obtained a law degree while working full-time and am a licensed California attorney. Irvine, after so many years of rapid development, is at a crossroad now. It has many issues like congested traffic, crowded schools, and declining safety. The city council needs council members who can truly represent the voice of the resident and to bring Irvine to the future. 我名字叫孙立清，谢谢大家今天在这里。我在儿湾是居住16年，看到儿湾从一个很小的城市发展到现在一个中大城市。那儿湾现在有很多问题，像交通拥挤这个学校呢也是人太多，还有呢安全也在逐渐下降。那儿湾的 City Council 呢，需要能够真正代表儿湾居民的声音的议员。那我在11月份将会参选，谢谢大家的支持。感谢IPAC， 感谢 US TV National TV， 感谢大家在11月份，希望大家能够投上神圣的一票，谢谢大家。
As we all know, as lawyers, we always, we want to become judges. But in California, for some judges, we have to run for it. There's an election for the judges. Today, we have two candidates for the judges in LA County that IPAC has endorsed after interviewing and discussion and communication with the community. The first one, it's my great pleasure and a privilege to introduce to you Armando Duran. Armando is running for LA Superior Court judgeship, the seat 246. 146, I beg your pardon. Hopefully in the future, if I come to your court, you don't blame me for that. All right, let me pass this microphone to Mr. Duran for his introduction.
Good afternoon. It's a great pleasure to be here this afternoon with you. With the support of IPAC and Ms. Chen, I am so grateful for the support. It is important for all of us who are in public service, including those running for judge, that we reach out to other communities and not just to our own communities. That's why I sought the endorsement of IPAC, because you are an important organization. As a judge, the most important thing that we can do is do two things. Number one, prepare. When you come before us, you want to know that we read the materials that you filed and that we know your case. The second thing, especially because most people today come to court without lawyers. Some days, 70% of the people in front of me, because I'm already a commissioner in Superior Court, come without a lawyer. That means that I have to get the information and make a decision. And what you want from me, most importantly, is that you want to, when you walk out that door, you want to know that you were heard. That the judge didn't not read the material, didn't listen to you, made a bad decision, and you left unhappy. What you want is for the judge to hear your case, and so for you to know that justice was done. That's what I've been doing, sitting as a commissioner already in the Los Angeles Superior Court, where I sit now in Compton in family law. Very contentious area. So it takes somebody with patience, it takes somebody with integrity, it takes somebody with the knowledge of the law to be able to preside over these very contentious cases. And it takes somebody with sensitivity, because what I decide affects people's lives every day. It affects their children's lives. So I no longer not only have to render a decision, but I have to try and get a buy-in from the litigants so that they treat each other better when they leave than they did before they got here, before they got to me. So that's what I have been doing. I'm a graduate of UCLA Law School, where I met and was a friend of Mike Ng, who's endorsed me. Before that, I graduated from Loyola Marymount University, undergraduate. I've been sitting as a commissioner appointed by the judges of the Los Angeles Superior Court for 2.5 years. I am endorsed by the supervising judge of the entire county, Judge Dan Buckley, as well as the assistant presiding judge, who's going to be the next presiding judge next year, and many other local community members and attorneys and other judges. But I, again, want to thank you so much, Ms. Chen, and to the entire board of IPAC for your endorsement. This was very meaningful, very important for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Duran. Our next candidate that is endorsed by IPAC is also running for LA Superior Court Judge, and his name is Javier Perez. We have endorsed, we have interviewed him, we've considered his qualifications. We are very privileged to endorse him as a qualified candidate. He's running for the seat 113, am I correct? Thank you. Let me pass the microphone to Perez.
Good afternoon. My name is Javier Perez. One, I'd like to tell you that I'm extremely honored to have been endorsed by such a prestigious organization and community leader such as IPAC. I'd like to echo some of the comments made by Commissioner Duran in terms of how important it is, the characteristics that a judge have. Some of those characteristics that a judge must have are skill, knowledge, experience. He must know the law, or she must know the law. Just as important as those practical characteristics, a judge must have the correct judicial temperament. He must treat the people who appear in front of him with the proper respect and have empathy for the people who are appearing in front of them. I'm born in Montebello. My parents are immigrants from Mexico. I live in the San Gabriel community. I have the empathy necessary to better understand the people. Actually, the people here, many of you, are my neighbors. I live in this area. I've been a deputy district attorney for 27 years. I've tried serious cases such as murder, sexual assault, domestic violence, gang cases, major narcotics. I've also been tasked as a supervisor of two of the busiest area courts in Los Angeles County, the East LA area court and the West Covina area court, many of the cases that arise from this particular neighborhood actually came to West Covina. I'm going to use that experience as a judge. I'm going to use my personal life experience in order to have the proper empathy to understand the people who appear in front of me. I've also been endorsed by community leaders such as Supervisor Catherine Barger, Supervisor Janice Hahn, and I've been privileged recently with the endorsement of Mike Ng. And I couldn't be more honored to have your endorsement and your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Perez. That concludes our introduction section of the press conference. We will be opening for the Q&A media friends and reporters and friends and family and community leaders. If you have questions, you can raise up your hand and ask the question.
All right, I have a question for all the candidates. Do you have any good ideas to help the Chinese Americans to fight against racial prejudice at work and at school? Thank you.
The best thing we can do, the first thing we can all do, is serve by example. How we treat each other, Chinese, Mexicans, Afro-Americans, how we treat each other and how I treat people in front of me in the courthouse, in the courtroom, is very important. Treating everyone fairly and equally by our own actions is the first thing. That's how we show our young people. That's how we teach young people, out of school and in school. Most importantly, out of school, how we teach our own children how to treat people. And that's the first thing. Obviously, in the educational system, teaching history, all history, including about the Chinese Exclusion Act, for example, and other acts of discrimination that this country has suffered, or people in this country have suffered in the past, is very important. It's a complete history. It's not a history just of one people or just of certain issues that have occurred, but all issues, so that everyone feels included. That's very, very important, and I think that will go a long way. Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Duran is a commissioner of the judge, so we always call him in honor when I am in court. So, thank you, Your Honor. Well, next question. 在你们在思考的过程中呢，我想要再次重申一下，6月5号是我们初选投票日，我们必须在5月21日之前完成选民登记。希望各位媒体朋友、新闻记者社会大众能把这个消息传播出去。如果你们有可以把我们 IPAC 的联系电话、我们主席的电话都可以告诉给我们的社区朋友，让他们有问题可以咨询我们。我们并且有很多的这个登记的资料，以及帮助大家了解选举的这个宣传材料，你们也可以随手去带一些回去。现在仍然是 Q&A section, and it's still Q&A time. If you have any question for the candidate, raise up your hand, and we'll allow you to speak up.
My name is Jennifer Hong. First of all, I want to, I'm a member of IPAC as well. First of all, I want to say thank you for all the candidates coming over. I just want to express my personal request. I know it's not easy to be got elected, and I hope the most important thing I think is once you got elected, I know it's hard to execute all your political statements, whatever. Execution is very important. However, execution is very important, and I think I would appreciate once you got elected, please try your best job for all of our nation and also for all the Chinese. That's first thing. And secondly, I would like to ask a question directly with Dr. Herbert Lee. I know healthcare is very a big subject, because even now we haven't find a way to replace Obamacare. It's still under discussion, and it's a big subject. So I know that's your major issue when you're running for your election. And I don't know how, maybe you can repeat that again, how you gonna implement and execute this one.
Thank you so much. Give me an opportunity to talk about this Healthcare Act issue. So-called Obamacare is named as Affordable Health Care Act, so ACA. The truth is, after this years, Obamacare now is not anymore affordable. So we do see issues that the premium increased 10%, 20%, last year alone increased by 30%. We see the deductible, the copay. I remember when I started practice 31 years ago, that's the copay could be $1. But I can see now most people have $55 or $105. And the deductible become even more issue. Deductible could be up to $15,000 is a deductible. Who can afford it? The main issue, though, may not be to do with the premium or copay deductible. I feel so sad that I am a physician. I take care of people. I prescribe medication. I try to save life, try to preserve life. But when I try to do that, just example, I try to treat people with hepatitis C. Hepatitis C alone now is curable. It's 100% curable. But to buy a medicine, 8 weeks time, 57 pill is $11,500 to cure the disease. And it's not just the hep C alone. Many cancer is now curable. Many cancer early phase, people say, oh, I got a cancer, that's my death sentence, no more. 92% cancer at least can be curable nowadays. But the issue is in this Healthcare Act, the medication coverage become only for generic. But many of those medicines are not generic. It's all brand name. And that's the problem for that. Think about this. I wrote this white paper, 2004. I was University of Michigan, go blue. And I was at USC. Thanks for all these alumni. I was at the School of Gerontology, 2004. I was a PhD candidate in gerontology. I spent many weeks, actually, I would say more than 2 months, on the third floor. That was all the data of Medicare. I wrote a thesis, and that started my white paper. The white paper now is more than 16,000 pages. Make the whole theory simple. I call it pyramid system. So in our pyramid is a total resource division. So this pyramid, we have 5 layers. The higher layer is government. Government spends 3.5% of the resources to take care of administration. That should stay. The bottom, unfortunately, we say 37.5% are taken by so-called corporate America. Many of the company, including pharmaceutical, including insurance company, all for profit, all are based on the profit option, the stock value, and obviously have to make income from that. And unfortunately, we people, now with all this Obamacare distribution, is very tough. I see middle people actually stay in the middle of the pyramid. That's only taken 25% about the resources. I call this reverse pyramid system. First of all, we can shrink that pyramid. If you shrink the pyramid by 3%, if that bottom of 37.5%, that's 97% be given to people, to us, the resource, the money are there. We can do it. It's a very complicated story, but I'm professional. I've experienced. There's nobody looking into this, but this is to do our needs every single day. It's even not just our life, it's death or not. I won't be there, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to answer this question. I think my question will work.
Let me pass this microphone to our chairwoman, Donna Chan, to have a concluding comment.
Thank you. It was like
wonderful press conference today. So thank you everyone to coming today, and I'd like to have bring up all the board members from IPAC. We're gonna couple a group photo with the elected candidate, and also after this, we're gonna have lunch out there for everyone. So hopefully you enjoy our lunch. 那现在谢谢大家今天参与我们记者招待会。那现在我要请我们美国华人政治联盟全体的board member， 还有我们的National TV 的馆长，请上来和我们一起拍个照片。